The Arab students were protesting against violence that has claimed 7 lives in the past week. More than 500 marched through the Birzeit University campus. Several of them carried a symbolic coffin in protest of the killing of a Palestinian woman during clashes with Israeli security forces on Monday. One student, his face hidden by a scarf, waved the flag of the Palestine Liberation Organization, which is outlawed in Israel. The students chanted religious slogans and sang verses from the Quran. They also voiced their determination never to stop trying to liberate their land. In contrast to similar protests at a high school in the occupied Gaza Strip, when troops opened fire to disperse protesters, Israeli soldiers stayed away from the Birzeit campus during the hour-long demonstration. Israeli Defense Minister Yitzhak Rabin suggested the protests were attempts by elements abroad to create an impression of disorder for the visit to Israel later this week of U.S. Secretary of State George Shultz. Dozens of Israeli troops leapt into action to quell yet another violent protest, the latest in a series that has swept the West Bank all week. This latest trouble flared up in the village of Anabta. Soldiers in riot gear used tear gas to quell the disturbance. The occupied West Bank is home to over 1 million Palestinians, as well as 65,000 Israeli settlers. The army arrested 25 Palestinians who were demonstrating against the continued occupation of their homeland. The timing of their protest is linked to the visit to Israel this Friday of U.S. Secretary of State George Shultz, who's trying to revive his government's Middle East peace plan. Protesting Palestinians see the visit as legitimizing Israel's occupation of the West Bank and Gaza. Since the unrest began last week, 5 Palestinians and 2 Israelis have been killed and over 30 Arabs wounded. This was Mr. Shultz's first stop on his swing through the Middle East. He's hoping to inject new life into the region's stagnant peace process.
We all care a great deal about peace and doing what we can to move in that direction. And where we all want to get is into bilateral negotiations for peace.
He commented only briefly on the suspected Iranian attack earlier in the day on a U.S.-registered Kuwaiti tanker in the Gulf.
Further, other than to say that it's obviously a serious matter, particularly when you have 2 days running direct attacks on Kuwait as a non-belligerent country.
The main subject of Mr. Shultz's discussions here is believed to be a possible international conference bringing together Israelis and Arabs. Israel's President Shamir is known to oppose a conference. He's apparently suspicious of a forum in which the Soviet Union could have an influential role, but his cabinet is split over the issue. Foreign Minister Shimon Peres favors international talks. He believes they're part of a peace-building process that may bring an end to 40 years of conflict. Ordinary Israelis aren't so sure. Shuttered windows show they're taking no chances.
The public less tension. I believe it's going on for a week.
Doctoral fellowship.
I believe, at least from my standpoint, it's been beneficial and constructive. Scientific topic might throw it. All right. But that's what I said they should be watching. Tells me that